Bienvenidos. I don't know how to.
Is it you're not going to do a whole Spanish thing?
Nah, I would need to see.
You can't say hola.
Hola.
Yeah.
I mean, I could say the word you just said. It's not really a challenge when you say the Spanish word, and then I just repeat it.
You know how to say like beef jerky?
No, I don't.
Charqui.
Charqui? I don't believe you for a fucking second.
Mm-hmm. It comes from like a South American thing.
Okay. Welcome to the Joystick Show. The only podcast that educates you and entertains you for about 40 to 60 minutes. We're big on the edutainment here. You're going to learn something and you're going to laugh along the way. Promise you.
It's not like Bill Nye, not that type of edutainment or whatever the word is.
Why can't it be?
There's no science on here. Is there science?
Jose doesn't show up enough. Yeah.
No,
the science guy is in Jersey.
No.
He's also the Jersey guy. Yeah.
He's also not here.
The not here guy. Just here, me and Dill, nobody else because they're fucking lazy.
Yeah. And, also, good. We gotta go back. I'm.
Damn, that was kind of harsh. I don't know.
Well, I don't mean
I
it.
felt
in
some
a mean
animosity
way,
off that
but
one.
What I mean is just like I miss them.
You heard that, Jerry? Yeah. You heard that, Joey?
I miss them, but I also don't. I miss the intimacy of me and you. No homo.
No, I get you. Yeah, this is the roots. This is where it started. And it's kind of crazy because we talked about it earlier that we're nearing our 100th episode as well as our 2-year anniversary.
Oh yeah.
But more on that
trouble.
more on that in the coming weeks.
Yeah.
Thankfully, we still have like a month and change. I also just realized I'm not wearing my picnic shirt. Hold on. Hold the fort down.
So Bobby picked out this shirt that literally looks like a picnic table, and he's like, this will work. And I was like, are you joking or are you serious?
What do you mean? Am I joking? Look at that.
Ooh, what a turnaround.
Don't I look great?
Yeah.
Imagine
if someone like showed up to like a business meeting and they were wearing like a button-down shirt and a beanie. And you're just like,
bro, you obviously haven't been to like a meeting in Williamsburg recently.
Beanies,
this is the wave, dude.
Yeah, but the thing is though, is that whenever I see someone wearing a beanie and it's covering all of their hair, I'm like, they don't have hair,
They're just hiding it.
Like I remember seeing a guy like recently wearing like a wool cap, and I'm like, sir, it's okay to be bald. Like it really is. Like,
maybe he's just trying to keep his head warm, dude.
He's keeping his head warm in 72-degree weather. Yeah.
It's chilly out there.
Yeah.
You don't know what it's like to be bald. It's a lot of breeze,
Well, that's the thing. If he is, then it's like,
I get a fade and I'm shivering on the walk back home in like 80 degrees.
Yeah, I do notice that. Especially like when I get like the fro and it gets cut down, I do notice that. Yeah, it just gets like
fucking Anyway, I don't even know how we tangented onto that, but
welcome to
the show. Got my picnic shirt on, ready to diverge into lots of stuff that we did, watched, listened to this week.
Make sure to subscribe. That's important.
That's a big one.
Very important.
Dylan took the words out of my mouth. Yeah. Also, if you could like this video, that'd be really cool.
It's like a thumb button. I don't know if you've seen it before. It's like,
it looks like that. Yeah.
Awesome.
I mean,
what are we starting with?
I'm kind of excited to jump into something, but I low-key don't want to.
Can I jump into something real quick?
Yes.
Okay, I have a question for you specifically.
Let's do it.
And it's about just an overarching interest. I know you because we've talked recently about the cringe socks. But what kind of memes have you been into recently?
Memes I've been into.
Yeah, because like I've been into a lot of relatable stuff. I've just been seeing a lot of like recent memes that are like good. You've seen the ones on my story,
And let me say, for those of you who aren't following Dylan on Instagram. Get on that.
I've lost a couple of followers. I don't know if it's like people or like, I know I had some like scam accounts follow me all the time and stuff, so I assume it's that. But maybe my memes have gotten a little.
Look, if you're gonna follow any member of Team Joystick, I promise you're gonna get the most bang for your buck if you follow Dylan Diaz. He posts some fire fucking memes.
That's correct.
And to be fair, most of the memes that you post are in my meme category.
Yeah, and they're also surprisingly relevant. Like there was a time Bobby on like it was like twice or 3 times in a day where I sent Bobby a meme, and then he saw that meme later on in the day, and then you sent it to me, and you were like, "What the fuck?" And I was like, "Yeah, like I it's just like you spread it along."
I've also got to be honest. There's just something about the random surreal meme that like makes no sense at all. Like the it starts off in the regular meme format, like me, you, me, and then it's like a can of soup. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
That shit destroys me, and I'm kind of mad that it makes me laugh. But I love shit like that.
Because one that's come out recently is that it's mainly more of a Twitter thing. But I've seen a couple like videos and GIFs, but it's essentially like because of Pride Month, a lot of companies do like the big like,
rainbow,
we turn this, they change their logo. Like, did you see what Skittles did?
No.
They're like their whole thing is taste the rainbow.
Yeah.
And they're like, oh, that's your thing. We're gonna get rid of it because it's like that's your.
Oh wow.
Yeah.
Got it.
And now the bag is white for this month because they're like, oh, we don't have like the rainbow colors. There's no other colors.
Interesting.
Yeah.
All right.
Very.
I kind of like that.
Yeah. And it was in a tasteful way, but a lot of people have. The new joke is now every day I see hundreds of like fake pitches of companies
doing Pride Month stuff.
Yeah, that would like not actually do it that way, so it's like, growing up as an LGBT youth, I was not given the tools to succeed. That's why I'm collabing with Home Depot, and it was just hundreds of these that I'm seeing. And they just, as the days gone on, we're only like 3 or 4 days into the month now. But as the time goes on, they get more and more ridiculous.
Okay.
And it was like, oh, as a trans woman, I find it very hard to get railed. That's why me and Amtrak, it's like, wait. And there was like one where it was like, that's why I'm teaming up with Chick-fil-A. And I'm like, the Vatican. Oh, the Pope is cool with it. But it's still like, And there was one there where it was like, oh, yeah, and we'll just fucking kill you. Like, I was like, that's not even a thing.
I mean, besides Pride memes, I've been getting a lot of Indian reels, as you know.
I've seen a few of these.
Yeah.
Just the coolest guys.
Yeah.
Possibly.
So, like, keep in mind, this isn't, like, anything against Indian culture or anything like that, but there does seem to be an influx of people in India who make, like, TikToks.
Yeah.
Where it will literally just be, like, a picture of them, but with like the sickest song you've ever heard, the craziest effects on it. I think you can kind of already visualize what I'm getting at here. And it's a style of Instagram reel that I fell in love with hard.
Yeah.
But here's the thing. When I watched the cringe talk videos, it helped. It was like a service. It gave me more cringe pages.
Yeah,
so I was
that's
like,
what it does.
This is what I wanted. Not the Indian memes. No. See, Instagram just thinks that I'm Indian now.
Yeah, that's fucking...
And now I just get every Indian account. There's this one that I can't
Bob,
shake. It's called Vumpala.
Oh, Bob, you gotta hit not interested.
It's like
Go
Indian
through the
TMZ, It's like look, and they're in English too, so it's not in India, but it'll be written out like, we saw Anna Sadiq coming out of this, and
Bobby's coming straight out of Rana Pradesh, bro.
Like, but those Bollywood actors and actresses are huge fucking deals. Yeah. So it's like hundreds, maybe like fucking, maybe not hundreds, but like 60, 70 paparazzis following this one woman, and you have no idea who she is because we've never watched the Bollywood movie. But
we've never seen any of that. Yeah.
I get a lot of that. I get a lot of Indian sports stuff. So unfortunately, Instagram just thinks I'm not my race. So.
That's amazing.
I kind of want to try that now. Like, just change it up. Just like a bunch of like, I don't know, like Japanese stuff, and see if Instagram thinks I'm Japanese.
I get like weird shit. You know what I mean? Like I think Instagram thinks I'm like an edgy teenager, maybe, or
you
like,
are, Dylan.
Yes, but maybe more in the sense of like they think I'm into, like, I don't know. They think I'm into more like younger meme humor, like younger meme humor, like fart jokes and shit, which of course funny, but I want something a little more extra. I
feel like fart humor and stuff like that just gets funnier. It comes in like a circle, It's like really funny when you're a kid.
When you
and then you
reach
grow
that
up
age,
and you're like, oh no, I think a lot about humor and joke structure.
I wanted to just pull up a random meme, and it's Kodak Black holding V-Bucks.
You see what I mean?
Yeah, like they think I'm like a child, bro. And it's like a lot of like I follow a lot of pages that like will ironically pull up a meme from like 2009.
Okay.
And I absolutely love those because it's like a moment in time, but it's still funny.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like I saw one that was like a meme from like 2014, and it was like Sheen Estevez, and he's like, in honor of Pride Month, I won't be doing your mom, I'll be doing your dad. And I saw that like in like 2013. I saw that meme, and I'm like, damn, it like really like younger people
rattled your brain.
And not even that, but it's like younger people like we're passing these horrible memes down, and now they can re-edit them and make them even worse.
I didn't even think about that.
Yeah, like a lot of me, like you notice, like I remember I saw one where it was like it was just like a crude edit it was like a still cut. It was like a video of a kid like throwing the bowling ball like a basketball, and it was just that, but it was like a crude edit sideways. And I'm like, why would you do this?
Fuck. Yo, speaking of shit that's like very easily memeable, I was watching some programs last night. I had a family friend come over. She was kind of explaining a lot of stuff that I don't normally watch to me, which is kind of cool. I'm used to hanging out with like you guys a lot, so we watched a lot of the same things. So it was cool to get like some new perspective.
Yeah.
For
some insight.
For instance, she kind of got me into Stranger Things. Never really watched it before. Watched the first couple episodes. Very good show. Not surprisingly, everybody loves it, right?
Yeah, good show.
But then we started watching another show. It's actually a show that I mentioned on the podcast a couple months ago that I wanted to watch, and finally got around to it. I didn't start from the beginning. I watched the episode I'm going to explain now, but I finally got around to checking out the Kardashians.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
You got to it.
And, I said a while back that I was excited to watch the show because of all of, when they had Keeping Up with the Kardashians, their lives were, granted, still very much in the spotlight, but completely different from how their lives are now.
I mean, they're all married now. They're older.
Kim went through the Kanye whole fucking era. Now she's with Pete Davidson. There's the whole Kylie with Travis Scott thing. That's a whole different thing. So there's like a lot of new storylines here. Mm-hmm. So that's why I wanted to get into it. And then I watched the show.
And it was not what you wanted.
It's everything I wanted and more. Dylan.
Oh, yeah?
Oh, yeah. So keep in mind, I can't speak too heavily about it because I only saw this one episode. Yeah. But allow me to get into this, okay? So it's like your typical reality show.
Is it like the old Kardashians?
Yeah.
Because I've seen the old Kardashians.
It's like your typical. The only difference is like since it's on Hulu, it's a little less like censored. It's more raw, which I like. It feels a little more real. But in the terms of like the reality show sense, it's like every episode is, keep in mind, there's a shit ton of fucking Kardashians. They're all in different sects. Yeah. So they're all doing like something different. And then the camera crews follow them individually and then they get intercut into the episode later. Mm-hmm. So to give you preface into what's going on in the episode I watched, right? Okay. We'll get through it. We got Kendall and Kim. They're competing to get on the cover of Vogue. Okay. So that's what's going on. Khloe got a new house. All right. Very exciting. Very organized pantry. It looks incredible. It was very sick.
We all want a pantry.
Kourtney got her vagina steamed. I think it was like her and Travis Barker want a baby or something like that. So her whole arc in the show is very about like fertility stuff.
Yeah, she wants to start a family.
Exactly. So they're on like a cleanse and all this shit. But then there's the fourth, which is by far my favorite. It's just if every episode was just storylines like this, it would easily be my favorite show.
What are we getting into?
So we have all that other reality show shit, and then we have a story arc between Kris Jenner, the mom, and Kylie. Yeah. Kris goes on this whole tangent of how she's like, nothing makes me happier as a mother than making my children happy. I love to spend time with them. I love to have happy times. I love to see them smile. Yeah. So she decides that she wants to have a fun day out with her daughter, Kylie.
Yeah. And so her and Kylie are hanging out.
Yeah. And Kylie's pregnant in the show, I think. And she's probably like 3 months, 4 months, something like barely showing type of thing, right? So they go out for fun and they're like, what do you want to do? So Kris is like, let's go grocery shopping.
That's the fun.
Yeah. So they don't, get people. They just show up at a supermarket. And they're explaining the whole thing about how they're very well known and what it's like to go to places like this. And there's even people like there, like as the camera crews are filming, you can see them walking by, like side holding a phone, trying to get a picture as they're walking by or a video or something. They finish shopping. They go out. They're packing the car. And Kris is having the time of her life. She's like, oh my God, that was so much fun. And Kylie's about to leave the cart, like next to the car. And Kris is like, are you going to be one of those people that leaves the carts and doesn't take it back? And they get, shout outs to cart narcs. They get into a whole little thing about that. And then Kris is like, come on. And Kylie's like, fine. So Kylie gets the cart. And keep in mind, she's pregnant. So she's walking like really slow to the other side of the parking lot to put the thing in. And the whole walk there, she's going. Kris is still at the cart just going, woo! Yeah, Kylie, you can do it. Yeah.
This is fantastic.
And it just cuts to Kylie just like
pregnant, slowly
tromping over to the
just
fucking
turtling
thing.
Her way to be a good
but
citizen.
It gets so much better. So then they get back in the car.
I gotta watch this.
Kris is on this fucking high now. She's like, oh my God, what do you want to do next? And Kylie's like, I don't know. And Kris is like, do you want to get a car wash? So this whole story arc.
I love how these people are so fucking rich that the idea of, this is like fictional where it's like you make a joke where it's like, oh, rich people pretend to be normal. They're literally doing chores.
Exactly.
They're literally, let me clean my gutter. Oh, Kylie, Kylie, fold your clothes.
So fucking yeah.
This is so dumb.
So the whole
I blew out that audio.
Yes, you definitely did. Their whole story arc was just fucking them doing normal shit and having the time of their lives. But I think my favorite part is when they finally get to the gas station. It starts off with them going to get gas, and Kris Jenner looks like she has not pumped gas for herself in about 30 years. Yeah. She gets out of the car.
I mean, back when she pumped. Yeah, her name was actually Kris.
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
So she fucking she got out of the car. It looks like she, I'll give her credit because I've definitely done the thing where you forget what side of the
that happens all the time. Yeah.
But then she gets out. She's got the credit card in hand. She's doing like the old person, like, where does this go? She's looking around. She's doing the point.
Investigating.
She finds the slot. She's like, okay. She puts it in. Then she looks around again. And she's like, what do I do here? She's like, okay. And then she presses the button. It's like super calculated and slow. And then for some reason she does the whole thing. And then like the on the screen, it's like car wash. And she's like, car wash. And then she hits it. She's like, oh yes, $9. Okay, perfect. Got it. Take the ticket to the whole thing. Okay, so do we have to go there? So they're like figuring out this whole thing. Finally they get it. And they find out that it's one of the car washes that you can sit in. And
yeah, of course.
Not only is Kris Jenner just like, complete fucking, what's the word, like sensory overload now.
Like
she even quotes that it's like a Disney World, like it's a ride for her. And I'm like, this is the craziest shit I've ever watched, to the point where even Kylie is kind of like, Mom, what the fuck is happening? Fucking the whole way she's like, oh my god, look at the colors of the thing. So I got to watch fucking the Kardashians pretend to be normal people.
It's like, it's like in on itself. You know what I mean? Like, it's kind of like, because when I was younger, I always thought that, like, oh, that's what like rich people do. They were like, oh, I'm gonna put on a suit and pretend like I have to be a normal person. But they're actually doing
that's their lives.
That. That's what they're doing.
My second favorite part of the episode was when Kourtney Kardashian was gonna go have a meeting with famous actress Gwyneth Paltrow about having their companies come together for a brand thing or whatever. But it's kind of hard to take them seriously when the conversation starts off with the talking head of Kourtney Kardashian saying literally, so I'm meeting with Gwyneth Paltrow today to talk about an idea where we would merge our companies Poosh and Goop. And I had to pause it right there and go, what the fuck?
Did you not know? I mean, you knew about Goop.
I knew about Goop.
But you didn't know about Poosh?
And I didn't know about Poosh. But when you hear about Poosh and Goop together, it's like, this is bullshit. This is bullshit.
And already that like stickers that you put on your vagina, which is like they actually Goop sells that.
Yeah.
So like when they actually sell that, and it's like, oh, they're $12 each, and they actually like infuse health into you. It's like, yeah, maybe we've gone too far with this. Maybe you shouldn't sell this. Maybe this should be illegal. It kind of
maybe a vag scented candle.
We've kind of made a like. I remember how like back in the day there'd be like these like oil salesmen, and you have like the cure all.
What was it called? The I know snake
oil. It's like the elixir, and you sell this shit. Like I remember recently I watched like Sweeney Todd, and that's like the big part. Yeah, but that's what this is. It's like the same concept. It's like, oh, it's this liquid.
Like that's like gurus. That's all it is.
It's air essence. Like what but it's water. Like what the fuck does that mean?
I mean, kind of off track, but kind of on track. I was reading. There's like this girl who got famous selling her bath water.
Yeah.
I don't remember if it was her bath water or if it was her closed farts. Either way, she made a shit ton of money now selling boob sweat in jars. Like, I don't know.
Nice. Good stuff. I mean, hey,
it's ridiculous, man.
I mean, what I think is that like people will say it's ridiculous. But if people are buying it, then it's not her fault.
It's,
you know what I mean?
It's not her fault.
It's more reflective on society than it is on them, is what I'm saying.
I have to disagree.
Really?
I think it's equally as reflective on them as it is on society.
Because I think that like
I don't think it's the same take, but I think that you can say what you just said about people buying it. Like, yeah, they're buying it, but you could also say the same thing about her knowing that. And
yeah. I mean, she's like leaning into it. Yeah, exactly. 100%.
And the only reason I say that is because of what I just recently said about how she's kind of been on this fucking wave for a bit. She started with bathwater farts, and now she's doing the boobs. So, like, she knows what she's doing, and she's getting smart with it.
Yeah.
She's gonna start fucking branding this shit pretty soon.
Yeah. She's like, all right, what liquids do we have next, right? Like, she's like working with the scientists.
I don't don't even want to make a joke. It's disgusting.
Yeah.
Like,
Okay. Please don't.
The examples that came into my head, I will not reiterate.
Let's just say she's gonna sell her hair next.
Yes.
Wink, wink.
Yes, and not her. No, I'm not gonna say.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna say. Fucking.
How do we segue that? That's a good one, right?
I mean, I have other stuff.
Yeah, of course.
There's no way I could cleanly segue it. What was I gonna say? I watched another show. It's a show I've seen a lot of, and we've talked a lot about on the podcast before. It's definitely not Seinfeld. It's a show that's made fun of Seinfeld. It's Family Guy.
Okay.
I don't know what it was. I'll talk a little bit more about this later on, but I'll tease it here. My parents at the moment are in Vegas, so I've been alone for a couple of days. So the other night I was just kind of really bored, and it was the time where I was like in bed, supposed to be getting ready to go to bed, but like I wasn't able to go to sleep, so it wasn't like I was about to get up and do anything else. So I was looking for something to watch, and then I was like, I haven't watched Family Guy in a while, so let me go back and watch that. And I put it on, and I put it to the point from where I stopped watching it last, like throughout the series, because I've never as much of a fan of Family Guy as I am, I haven't seen every episode.
No, neither have I.
I've seen every episode from seasons 1 to 13, I want to say, but then after that,
I don't even think I got that far.
Yeah, exactly. But then even after that, and what I'm trying to get at is I'm trying to watch every episode. Mm-hmm. So I got back into it, and I watched an episode that stuck with me. And I was like, wow, this is a really interesting episode. And I'm surprised I never watched it and I never heard about it. It's an episode called, I think, A Shot in the Dark.
All right.
And essentially it's an episode where the Peter and the gang, this is post Cleveland's return to the show.
All right.
All the four of them decide that they're going to start a community watch group. And one night on patrol,
I feel like I might have seen
one night on patrol, Peter sees somebody attempting to break into Cleveland's house and shoots them out of fear, and it turns out to be Cleveland Jr., his son.
Oh, wow.
And it turns into a whole political commentary thing about, white on black crime and things like that. And for what it's worth, it's like a really solid episode. It's really good, and I'm not actually here to talk about the episode. I'm here to talk about Cleveland and his family. So I watched that episode, and I was like, all right, cool. Maybe like a day or two afterwards, I was at my desk in an afternoon, just like on YouTube looking through my recommended, and there was a video that was called What Happened to Cleveland's Family. So I clicked on it, and I found out that after Cleveland and the family moved back to Spooner Street after the Cleveland show was canceled and they were officially characters back on Family Guy, that those characters pretty much got completely written off.
Yeah.
In fact, Cleveland's stepdaughter, I think her name is Roberta, has not one line of dialogue in the entire show. I think Rollo, the kid, had like one line of dialogue in the first episode he came back in.
And that was it.
Yeah. Donna's the most featured cast member from Cleveland's family, but it's mainly just to be like a Lois sidekick with Bonnie type of thing.
Yeah, it's not really used for any
But
other
what I
reason.
thought was really, really interesting is apparently the one and only episode that was prevalent for that family was the episode I fucking watched. So I was expecting it. I guess when I watched the video, I was curious to find out when they stopped being important for the show, and it turns out it's literally right then and there.
Yeah, and
like
then after that,
they were like Cleveland Jr. rarely makes appearances or anything like that, and it's just
they probably
super odd.
Yeah, I mean they probably did it in like a send off kind of way, but it's also weird that it's good,
But that's the thing. The case that the guy made in the video essay was really important too. Was the fact that despite the fact that the Cleveland show didn't do as well as Family Guy, those were sculpted characters. Like those were characters who had arcs, who started somewhere, who ended somewhere, and who were actually likable.
Yeah, and it's not like it got canceled after one season.
Yeah,
it was on TV for a bit.
Exactly. So when they swung them over to Family Guy, it kind of sucked even more that they just never used them. Yeah, it kind of like pulled the rug under,
and people had expectations.
Exactly, we're taking these characters that you saw here and we're putting them back in Family Guy with Peter and this that. No, they're just they're in the show, but they never talk. They're just background. They're just
they're there though.
Yeah. But they have no lines of dialogue, which is the important part. They don't add anything to the actual episode. Yeah, it's just weird. I don't know.
That is very strange. Maybe it's like a. Well, who does the voice acting? That's
another thing. There's a new guy for Cleveland.
Oh yeah.
Because what's his name? Mike Henry stopped with the whole when that was a whole thing in Hollywood that voice actors wanted to start representing people of their own their race, which I can agree with to a degree.
Most yes,
to a degree.
I mean, I think more important. It depends on who the character is. I feel. Does that make any sense? like it depends on how the character's written, you know. Like I feel,
absolutely, yeah. Honestly, here's my bottom line: if it's stereotyped, it's wrong. It's you're being a dickhead about it.
Yeah, I mean, just the whole
like
point,
there's a reason Hank Azaria stopped voicing Apu and Bumblebee Man on The Simpsons. It's because he was literally like a super typical Indian convenience store worker, and Bumblebee Man was like your supposed stereotypical everyday like novella TV show kind of fucking Telemundo game show guy. Like
exactly.
I got him, that whole kind of shit. Yeah. But like to swip it or to swip it. Is that a fucking to swip?
I like that a lot.
Like it a lot.
I like it.
It's like switch and swap.
Yeah.
To swip it.
Add that to a new
for like a voice actor
seggy.
like Phil Lamar, black voice actor who's iconic for a shit ton of roles. He voices Samurai Jack, like this feudal Japanese guy. You know what I mean? But the difference is he actually voices him super well. Like he puts emotion into the character. He does the accent well. He's slow paced. You know what I mean? So I feel like even if you're not the race, but you do it accurately, respectfully, and with the right, what's the word? Like with the intentions.
Yeah.
Then I don't think there's anything wrong with it.
Yeah.
It's how you do it. And that being said, I don't know if I necessarily agree with the recasting of Cleveland. Like I get it. It's a progressive choice, but I mean, Family Guy's an old fucking show. That show's been out for.
Yeah, I feel it's weird when it's like also like a not only a continuity thing, but like you said, it's an old show. It's like
the show was out for 20 years when they made the decision to recast it.
Yeah.
So it's like not
it
only
started
that,
in '99.
the show was out for 20 years, and the character that got recasted had his own show where he was voiced by that guy. So it's
like it doesn't,
And I'm not trying to be a hater because on the other side of the coin, the guy who got the role is pretty cool, and I like the fact that like he got his start literally like making YouTube videos doing impressions, and one of his best impressions was Cleveland. So that's how he got the job. They were like, oh, this guy does Cleveland on YouTube. We'll just get him to do Cleveland on Family Guy. So I like that. I think that's cool. But at the same time, I'm just like, I don't think he should have been recasted.
No, I agree with that too.
But yeah, that's my 2 cents with the Cleveland guy.
Do you like American Dad?
Never really gave it a shot.
Damn, I liked American Dad a lot.
Everybody I talk to that
good.
watches it says the same thing. It's just like a different tone, I guess.
Yeah.
But I've never given it a shot. I'm sure if I did, I would.
Yeah, because they're all like, I remember Joey like made us watch an intro for like a Canadian Italian one.
Yeah, I forget about it.
Yeah, and I was like, they're all the same. They're all that though. Yeah. Like The Simpsons.
Well, The Simpsons is the one that started.
Yeah, it's like a family sitcom, but it's animated.
Yeah, 3 children.
Yeah, you have the 3 children. Because if you think about it, it's like Bob's Burgers is that way, American Dad is that way. Like they're all that kind of same, that mold.
Show. They are. Yeah, it's 100% that.
Yeah.
But yeah,
I like that a lot.
What was my other thing?
And Bob's Burgers too.
I just have a vault in the back of my head right now. Did I get through everything? I don't think so. Oh, I didn't. You see, I got stuff in the vault.
Yeah. Open that up.
Speaking of the vault, and not speaking of, this has nothing to do with the vault. You got any plans this summer?
I do.
What you doing?
I sure do. So I remember you bringing up something about Florida. I definitely want to go to Florida, but I don't know if it's like viable.
What do you mean viable?
Okay, so let's break down the summer. Okay. Like in 2 weeks, I'm going to Massachusetts, Great Barrington, Berkshires, other areas.
You got into a little bit before, going to Six Flags, New England, right?
Yep, that's right. So we're going to do that the first, like on the drive up, just because I don't want to go there on the weekend because it's more crowded and things like that. It's open less hours, but I don't care. There's not many.
I think it's less expensive if you go on a weekday most of the time.
Yeah. It's a cheap park. It's not to say there's not a lot going on.
It's not Disney World. Yeah.
The park is very much like here's roller coasters.
Yeah.
It's literally like a swing ride, and they put like Dr. Freeze on it. Yeah. And it's like why did you have to do that? Just make it a fucking
Dr. Freeze, by the way, my favorite comic book villain of all time. Totally not Mr. Freeze.
Is it actually Mr. Freeze?
Yeah.
Oh.
Unless you're crossing like Doctor Strange and Mr. Freeze.
I mean,
I like it. This is a whole thing you got going on.
But yeah, like regardless, I would remember if it was an actual fucking ride and not just a swing ride that you put a phone and you put kapow on it. It's like that's not a fucking theme. Anyways, I'm very excited to go. I'm gonna ride Superman the Ride, which is like an old roller coaster, but it was like the first ride that went like over like 80 miles an hour or something, so it was like a big fucking deal. And then after that, we're just gonna do a lot of like museums, like mansion tours and stuff like that.
Just gonna look for some properties to buy out
Yeah,
there.
no, but it's like they have like premises and it's like gardens and stuff.
No, you're gonna buy.
Yeah.
You're out there.
Yeah,
To
I'm
look,
gonna out there. Oh yeah, it has to have marble
Dylan's looking
stairs.
for the new Joystick headquarters in Berkshire, whatever the fuck you said.
It's a fucking in Stockbridge.
Stockbridge.
I'm just picking a random town. Yeah,
that sounds like you made up a city.
I didn't know. That's real. It's real.
Like
West Stockbridge.
Stockbridge.
Westport.
Can I do that? Know? Can I do that off the fly? Penfence. I live in Penfence.
That doesn't sound real at all.
Penfence, yeah.
No,
bro. I'm in Penfence, Ohio, bro. Penfence, Penfence, bro. I'm born and raised in Penfence.
Look it up.
I bet $1,000 this fucking place exists.
Do you think it's in America? I'm gonna guess it's in Canada.
Definitely in America.
I'm gonna guess it's Canada.
Okay, hold on. Okay, it's not looking good so far.
Because it's
Google Map.
Because you know how towns are named, right? Like it's usually a place from like.
Dude, look, Penn Fencing Incorporated, fence contractor, Gatefield Road, Seneca, Pennsylvania. Right there, Penfence. You see, it's a real place.
Right. Yeah, right, bro.
Wait till I go through all of the effort to like fucking make a community name.
You find it. It's like 4 people.
No, I'm gonna make a town named Penfence just for the sake of this joke. I'm gonna go out and about. I don't know how that gets done, but I'm gonna go get it done.
Please do.
But what's up with the viability of Florida? What else is booking your summer after Massachusetts?
Well, that's about it. However, I wanted to go to Florida in like August because I noticed that like tickets and stuff are much cheaper at like the end of August.
Yeah.
And I was like doing research about it, and it was like apparently end of August is really cheap, and then Labor Day they jack everything up, and then after Labor Day it goes back down again.
Got it.
But Labor Day I have a wedding to go to in Charleston, South Carolina.
Damn, you're out and about. What the fuck?
Yeah, I know. I noticed that. I was like, holy shit, I have stuff to do. This
Crazy.
Is wild. But if I do go to Florida, it'd probably be at that time.
I think it's hilarious that like you and I are going to the exact same places this summer, just not at the same time. Because I'm going to Massachusetts July 4th.
Mm-hmm.
We're going on the 2nd for like our cousin's, my cousin's baby's first birthday.
Yeah.
But we're gonna stay the extra days just for like July 4th and like spend the whole time there. But then I think end of July we want to go to Florida.
Nice.
So we're trying to get that done too. And I looked up the Universal prices in advance, and oh my god, I'd be spending like. Realistically, I'd probably be spending like at least $300 just on that day.
Well, I was looking at the funny thing about the prices though is I actually was doing research about this because I was like figuring out like how like Disney's like Genie Plus service works and how like their Lightning Link, because it's different. It's not just you pay a bunch of money and get on. It's like you have to get times, and it still ends up being quick, but it's a way different system. And I realized that I was reading about how for 30 years, do you know what the cheapest way to go to Disney was? Go to a travel agent. Oh. And that's why there were so many travel agencies in New York, is because travel agents actually had the down low to get the best deals on Disney.
Gotcha.
And even now, if you want to buy more than a one-day pass at Disney, third-party website travel agencies are still cheaper to buy tickets from. Yeah. And I looked it up, and it actually comes out to be like at least like $40 cheaper, $50 cheaper.
Not bad.
And especially with Universal, I noticed that like after like the 2-day mark, it's like the same price. Mm-hmm. Like 2-day, 3-day, 4-day, 5-day, the price goes up by like $10.
Wow.
Each day. They just know that it's like most people don't want to go for like a week because it's like you can probably knock out the rides in a couple of days.
Yeah, that makes sense.
You're just paying more for like the convenience of it. And there's also like different, like I noticed, because it's not just like one park. Like Universal has 2, it's going to be 3 parks.
Yeah.
And then they also have the water park. Disney, there's a bunch of different fucking parks. And then they have different tickets where it's like, oh, this one has 1 park, 2 parks, all of them. And it's
I
like
hate that shit.
And it's like this one you can't park hop, but this one you can.
It's not that I don't like. Obviously, that makes sense. Like if you're gonna have all those different parks to monetize them differently, but like the effect that they do it is ridiculous. Like how you just explained, like oh this ticket only works if you do this on this day at this time.
And it's like I remember they're both confusing. I thought like when I remember I was looking at Disney and I was like, all right,
Disney's more confusing.
Yeah, well Disney is like this is the 2-day park hopper plus 1 day.
Yeah.
And I'm like, wait. huh? And then Universal, I was looking and it's like, all right, this one is park. This one is 2 parks, no water park, and then this one's all 3.
All 3, yeah.
And I'm like, guys, just make it $200. You get everything, and we'll all pay it. It doesn't matter. You should make the children one a little cheaper. Like the child ticket's like $10 less. That's a little ridiculous.
That's fucked up.
Yeah, I remember like especially Disney. I was like, all right, it's like $20 cheaper. Like, come on, bro. But I do want to do that. I definitely have not been to Disney since like 2004 or something like that.
I've never really been to Disney to like and enjoy it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like the last time I went, I was still kind of too young to fully like. I think I was like 9 or 10.
Yeah, exactly. And even then, I was like I said, I was 8 or 9.
Younger,
So
yeah.
So when I couldn't go on a couple of rides, the rides I did on, everything's like a distant memory.
Mm-hmm.
Like I remember. Like It's a Small World and those rides, but now there's so many different. Like, did you see the fucking Smurfs ride?
At Disney?
Yeah, there's a new Smurfs roller coaster.
Weird.
That's a mine cart, and as it goes, it sways.
Oh, weird.
Yeah, and then midway through, it just stops. It goes inside, and then it says dark ride. So it turns into like It's a Small World, but with the Smurfs.
Gotcha.
And then it drops again, and it goes back into a roller coaster. I'm like, that's actually pretty cool, but
Yeah.
it's like, And they also like Guardians of the Galaxy, and then like there's a whole bunch of shit going on.
I watch this. You ready for this?
Yeah.
Speaking of Disney, woo!
Ooh.
I got to get out of the habit of announcing my segues
Because they'd be way smoother if you didn't announce them, yeah.
But no, I felt like I had to for that one. Speaking of Disney, I watched a movie.
Okay.
Kind of. If you haven't watched the Joystick show, I watched a couple movies.
Oh.
I'm a big fan of movies.
I watch movies.
As you can tell. No, I watched the movie that Joey had been trying to get me to watch for a bit. I watched Chip and Dale's Rescue Rangers.
Oh yeah.
Have you seen it?
No, I have not.
See, I know you know a bit about it. Do you know who voices Chip and Dale?
No.
You don't?
No.
At all. Do you know who's behind the movie?
Who?
Okay, so this is gonna be fun for you.
Okay.
The voices behind Chip and Dale
All right.
are John Mulaney and Andy Samberg.
Very cool.
The movie was made by the Lonely Island team,
Nice.
and it's for Disney.
Wonderful.
What makes the movie that much more special is it's really a modern day Roger Rabbit. It's insane. So
nice.
The amount of third party, if you can even call it that, it's really just like outside property things that Disney was able to get a hold of for this movie.
Okay.
Was shocking.
Can we go through some of them?
Yeah, just like,
Okay.
spoiler alert for those of you who haven't seen Chip and Dale Rescue Rangers, a few weeks old at this point. Check it out on Disney Plus. It's a fun, short watch.
I will watch it.
There is, Joey showed us one scene. Seth Rogen plays a character. So one of the cool things about the movie is animation is very much a huge part of the universe of the film.
Okay.
In fact, like the main conflict is that a couple of old classic Disney characters are being kidnapped and being put through what's called the bootlegging process, where the evil guy puts them through like a cosmetic machine that alters them so that they can be put in bootleg movies in other countries.
Yeah.
Kind of cool, right?
Yeah, I like that.
So
it's a good
like,
concept.
So it's like they kidnap fucking like Flounder from The Little Mermaid and put him in a movie called like Yellowfish or some shit like that. It comes out in India or something like that. But one of the jokes is that they end up going to like the where the boss hangs out on like the bad side of town, and that's like the part of town where like weirdly animated people go.
Okay.
So one of them even explains it. He's like, remember that weird time in the 90s where everything was animated but made to look kind of real?
Yeah.
This is where those people live. So it's like kind of weird looking 3D model people animated poorly. And then when the guard opens the door to the bad guy's headquarters, by the way, just to spoil it, the bad guy is Peter Pan.
Okay.
And he's voiced by Will Arnett. The whole joke is that he's Peter Pan, the boy who never aged, but he's like fat and old now. And he's like mad that Disney.
That's a really good casting too. Yeah, that's funny.
And then Seth Rogen is like his main in command, like grunt, I guess.
Oh yeah.
And he's not a real character from anything, but he's supposed to be like some Game of Thrones-esque Viking type character.
Okay.
But he's animated in the style of like the Polar Express. And they even like bring it up. They're like, ooh, he's looking at me with those weird Polar Express eyes. Like his eyes don't really have emotion or anything.
Yeah. Oh my god.
But there's a scene where like they're at a character convention and it's littered with tons of like references. And there's a part where he falls over, and all the characters that come to look at him are characters that Seth Rogen voiced in other animated movies.
Oh wow.
So it's like Pumbaa from the recent Lion King movie. They get he plays the grasshopper or the mantis in Kung Fu Panda. They even got freaking Bob from Monsters vs. Aliens.
Oh
which
shit.
is really cool. There's another. It's actually not even like a Easter egg. It's like a running thing in the movie. I always get them mixed up. I think it's Dale, but Dale, I think that's the one who's voiced by Andy Samberg. He's like locked into the fame. The whole thing is he's like a washed up cartoon celebrity.
Okay.
Because Chip and Dale is such an old cartoon.
Yeah, that like
they split. They went their old ways. And Dale,
that's funny.
Dale's
like
holding on to it, but Chip is like working he's working like an insurance job type of thing. And Chip is the John Mulaney one.
Yeah.
But there's like at the beginning of the movie, not John Mulaney, Andy Samberg's character Dale is at like the character convention, and he's trying to like get autographs to like make a living or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
And the part of the convention that he's at is with like all of the other forgotten characters, and one of his friends is Ugly Sonic from the recent Sonic movie.
No.
When they put out the first trailer, and it was like,
so
they kept the 3D model, and that version of Sonic is a main character in this movie.
Oh my god!
He's like, you'll see, the people love Ugly Sonic. It's so fucking stupid.
Great, bro.
And there's tons of other references in there. I mean, there's this one part that's really cool where like they find the bad guy's headquarters, and he has like this whole wall that's just like an inventory of random body parts and objects that he's stolen from different cartoon characters.
Okay.
So on the wall, it's like a Smurf hat. It even has like a Keyblade from Kingdom Hearts. It has Jimmy Neutron's hair.
Nice.
It has all kinds of shit. Yeah, you could even like find that frame and just look through it and be like, oh shit, there's everything.
I'm gonna see that on like fucking Facebook. There's 98 references in this photo.
Yeah.
Can you find all of them?
Oh my
god.
God.
It's just like your uncle just like fucking
99.
Yeah. All right, 99. That's fucking that's just
Woody in the corner.
yeah.
But yeah, it was a really good watch. I mean,
I gotta fucking watch this movie.
The movie itself is like all right. Like the story behind it's like very tongue in cheek and knows what it is. It's also pretty short, which I don't think is a bad thing.
I mean, I love that.
You kind of have to go in for it for the references and like all of that, because that's a lot of the charm.
That's what I care. I don't give a fuck. Plot.
Yeah, and
shout outs
to Mikey, longtime viewer and fan of Joystick Show. He was one of the first people who told me about it, and one of the first things he said was like the amount of cash that Disney threw out to probably get all these properties was insane. Mm-hmm. And as soon as he said that, I was like, who the fuck is in this movie? Yeah. And sure enough, there's even parts where like you could pause it, because like I said, there's scenes that take place at like a convention for characters.
So it's just everything.
And
like, they had to animate that shit too. So
and what's cool too is like, since it's an animated world, even like characters who aren't pre-existing characters, like there's anime people just walking around with regular looking people. There's like 3D animated people. In fact, one of the main jokes of the movie is Dale, Andy Samberg's character, got cosmetic surgery to become 3D CGI animated.
Nice.
But Chip's character is still 2D from the old cartoon. So he looks like an old Disney cartoon character.
Interesting.
So it's kind of cool.
I like that a lot.
Yeah. So yeah. Check out
I feel like that's a theme, because like Smiling Friends, which we've watched, is a similar thing.
Yeah, where like the characters are different.
I feel like, is it like people, I guess you're just trying new things, but I feel like back in the day people would have gotten mad at that.
Definitely.
Like if it was just like a continuity thing where like you're just throwing different animation styles, you'd be like, what the fuck is this?
I'd argue like obviously so in the Chip and Dale sense, but also so in the Smiling Friends example. It's like it's a nod, you know what I mean?
Yeah,
like
yeah.
It's almost like a nostalgia thing. Like
it's like showing like the development, like where we've come from. But like, you would never see that in like a movie, and it's just like you shoot a scene but make it look shitty. You know? Like, you would never do that.
Well, what I love about both of those shows is that they find a way to both like do that, but then they incorporate why they're doing that into the show. Like, oh, the people who are animated this way or because they act like this,
or they're college kids, so they look this way. Yeah, that's very important.
Yeah. But yeah, it's a cool fucking film. Check it out. It's on Disney.
I need to watch more like animated.
And it was directed by Akiva. From
it needs to be. Yeah. And I like how they brought Will Arnett and just all these people.
J.K. Simmons is in it. He plays like the police detective.
Ooh.
And it's funny because he's literally just like a stop motion animated block of clay with like a mustache. So the way he's animated and the stuff that he does is so funny, because like he's made of clay, so they play with that in the actual show.
Nice.
Like things just keep getting stuck to him and shit. It's so funny. It's also funny because like it's like Gumby, but it's with J.K. Simmons' voice. So he's like but he's just like a folding thing. It's so hard to take him seriously.
Those guys can make fucking movies, man.
Oh fuck yeah!
Like Hot Rod, Pop Star. And it's like they shouldn't be good, and some people will say they're not good.
I think they also did what's that movie, The Watch, the Community Watch one. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, they're good. I don't care what people say.
No, they're wrong. If it's funny, it's funny.
Surprise, surprise! 3 Jewish guys from Los Angeles are funny writers. Who would have saw that one coming?
Oh my god, crazy!
I never thought that stereotype was true until I got to film school and like
Yeah.
all of my writing teachers were like Jewish. I was like,
Mhm.
whoa, this is like a thing that they do. This is
Mhm.
nuts. Yeah.
Legit. It's one of 8 jobs they can get.
What are the other 7, Dylan? Please, I'd love to hear this. Rabbi.
Yeah. Rabbi. How do I do this without being racist?
Fuck, it's so shitty that the third thing I want to do is like the most racist joke ever.
Yeah. I mean, there's a lot of doctors.
Yeah.
A lot of doctors.
You want to hear my stereotypical one? I was going to say a cashier at Amazing Savings. They're always Jewish. It's crazy.
No, it's always like a doctor, but they're either like a pediatric doctor or there's something very specific. Yeah, it's like you'll never see like an urgent care doctor be Jewish. It's always like, oh, there's a problem with your like, I don't even insert body part here.
Your nostril.
Yeah, exactly.
I'm a nostril assist.
Yeah.
Nostril assist.
That just sounds like a fucking ventriloquist, but with the nose.
A nostril assist. Here, this is my impression of a nostril assist. Ready?
Hey, you see it?
So I was talking to the guy the other day.
Please zoom in on that. Oh
So
my
horrible.
God. Yeah. 10 out of 10.
I think it's actually jam and yam
Yeah,
time.
I think it is.
Unless you got anything to
No,
swing in.
that's about
to
it.
Slither it in like a little snake.
No, I usually throw in a cute like 30-second story into the yam, you know.
Yeah.
You're usually
And
just
and
like,
I said
here's
I
my
would
song.
swing it back, but my parents are in Vegas. They're having the times of their lives. I'm
Nice,
here,
good for them.
sad, alone. They're out there watching the Motown Review show, and they went to go eat at Eataly today, which I'm assuming is an Italian eatery in Vegas.
Yeah.
But yeah,
I hope. No, I'm not gonna say it.
just wanted to throw that out
I'm
there.
not gonna say what I was gonna say.
Oh, what were you
I
gonna
was
say?
gonna say, I hope it's a buffet restaurant.
I told Dylan he wasn't allowed. I told Dylan. I said we're gonna talk about Vegas, and you're
buffet.
not allowed.
All right, I'm done. I got it.
Because every time we bring up Vegas on the stupid podcast, Dylan is like,
I
"But
like
the fucking
food.
buffets at
I
Vegas."
like food. I'm literally gonna tell a food story.
And you know why
on the yam.
you know why I get mad about it? It's
Why?
because I've been to Vegas multiple times and I've never been to a Vegas buffet.
We gotta go to Vegas.
It wasn't until you that I was like, this is something that exists there and I'm missing out on this shit. It's upsetting. It's upsetting.
We have to go.
I'm down. I
Yeah.
want to go
Well,
to no more than 2 days.
No
more than 2 days.
No, literally like a Friday and
We'll go there Friday night. We will come back Sunday night. and
yeah.
that's that.
We will go to like a comedy show, right? We'll do some
For
shit.
sure.
Yeah, we'll do some shit like that, and then
Yup.
that's it.
But no, I can't. You lose money and it's sad. And I'm not even talking about gambling. It's just everything is so expensive.
Oh yeah.
It's like,
I'm definitely sports gambling in my hotel room. You know, I came all the way here, but
You're just gonna sit on your fucking Caesar's playbook.
yeah, just fucking okay.
All right. So let's jump into the
You
jam.
want to go first, or
I can, because my jam of the week is actually related to Vegas.
Ooh,
My jam of the week, I actually had a lot of options for jam of the week this
Me too.
week. I had one of those really good Discover Weekly weeks where like I'm on the train, like song after song, you're like, ooh, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
But I gotta be real. My favorite band put out a song, and that just trumps it. So shout outs to Panic at the Disco for releasing Viva Las Vengeance.
That's a band that me and Bobby really we both like the band quite a bit.
Yep.
I would say.
I mean, they're my favorite band of all time, and we even talked about them briefly last week when we were talking about our favorite bands, and I was talking about how they haven't really been around a lot. So to see them back in full force, like music video out, tour coming around, track list of the album release date, pictures, press, it's like, oh, this feels right. Like, this feels good. It was a sad, lonely 4 years without them, but
Yeah.
it feels good to be back. So Viva Las Vengeance, Panic at the
Bobby
Disco.
played it with a cool music video before. Very nice. It was very
Catchy
good.
song, yeah.
Yeah.
I hope the rest of the album is like that.
Not bad. My yam is a song I heard while eating at a Vietnamese restaurant. No, I did not know. I mean, it was in like Queens, Brooklyn border area, like Ridgewood, Bushwick.
Okay.
So I was like, I knew it was going to be like hipstery, you know? So I went there, and great restaurant. Vietnamese food's really good. However, they only play like MF Doom and like rap music like
Whoa.
that. Yeah. And it's like a mix of like that and like 80s and 90s rap.
It's kind of a vibe.
And I was like, yeah, and it's like a stylish place. It's like an old warehouse, you know, like all those
Yeah.
places. And I was like, and a song came on that I knew like at least half the words to. And that song is Microphone Fiend by Eric B. and Rakim.
Oh, okay. I haven't heard that song.
Okay, yeah.
I love Rakim.
Rakim is like, people consider him like one of the best rappers of all time.
Top 10 for sure.
Yeah, and I was listening to this song and I'm like, I think I know this, and I went to go back and it is on the Yams.
Oh,
so
shit.
this is a throwback Yam, real quick.
I love those. Those are great.
And it's like, I feel like I want to do more of those because there's so many songs that I'm like, they'll just come up on shuffle and I'm like, I'm not gonna skip this. I'll never fucking skip this.
Of course,
shit.
yeah. There's even songs that come back and shuffle and I'm like, I forgot how much I love this song.
And it makes me want to think like we should even do that. Like we've already done the music thing last week, but I feel like at some point we should really just make like our like quintessential songs.
Yeah,
like this shit is like you know.
I think that's better for like a you me thing situation.
Yeah,
like maybe our next duo podcast, considering our jams and our yams. Or I don't want to outweigh the importance of the bams and the slams, but
they're not.
Since the very beginning, that has always been our thing. And yeah, but that'd be pretty cool. We could even give some honorable mentions to some songs that were jams and yams. You know,
there's actually a lot of those.
A looksy backsy, if you will.
I like that, and then you know we get even nostalgic with it a little bit.
Yeah. Like the nostalgic critic. Yeah. Get you a little beret.
Please no.
Yes, I have one upstairs. I'll put it on you. It's gonna look great.
No. Please, check out Microphone Fiend. Very catchy song, very good. Has it's a hip hop beat with like a guitar lick, which is always like very good.
Like Aerosmith Run DMC shit.
Yeah.
Air DMC. Yeah. Run Smith. Thank you for watching the Joystick Show. We really appreciate it. Whether you're watching from Queens, Brooklyn, Bronx, Penfence, doesn't matter. As long as you're watching.
So glad you excluded Staten Island.
On the off chance that you live in Penfence, please send a comment.
Please send a comment from your not real place. Because it's like, you could have named like any like Indian, like a Native American type thing, or any like York, like any old fucking British thing.
Penfence. But thanks for watching. We really appreciate it. Like we said at the beginning, please subscribe to the Joystick. No, to Team Joystick. That's us. That's our
Joystick, team.
Yeah. Thanks. Good save.
We're a name.
And make sure to like episode 92 of the Joystick Show.
Are we gonna tell them to comment something?
You tell them to comment.
All right. Where do you want to go on vacation this summer?
That's a good one.
That is.
I'm trying to stay domestic. Save that money.
Oh yeah. Where do you want to go to close it off? Also, if you want to go internationally, where do you want to go internationally? That'll be a part 2.
If I could go anywhere, Bora Bora.
Oh shit!
Beautiful as
fuck. It's sinking. So
you tell me that every time I mention it. Shout out to Dylan the Fun.
It's also, it's part of France too. Like it's like how like we have like the 50 states. It's like a state of France.
Hold on, we're processing a joke here. Hold on. Ready? Bonjour. I'm so sorry.
You're really boring me with these jokes, bro.
It was way better.